Okay, alright. Hello there, everybody. Let's check to see. Alright, there we go. Hello there, everybody. This is MarioVivian13 here, and welcome back to Randomness Day. In case that some of you may not know, or people that are new to the channel may not know, Randomness Day is where that I would do a live stream on something that's completely random. Maybe so random that people will be saying, I didn't know about that, or that looks rather interesting. Or maybe something in the lines of saying that, why in the world is he looking this up? But I do find it fascinating at the same time. Okay, but anyways, today we'll be looking at car steering. I have always been fascinated by the steering, by my car steering, in the history of steering. Like, beforehand, like before automobiles, there were ships. You steer the ships around in the steering wheel, but even before then, the steering wheel was, I think, if I remember correctly, ancient Roman or ancient Greek ships were not controlled by a steering wheel, but rather by people rowing in one direction on another. Hello there, Gabriel. How are you doing today? Okay, so today we're gonna go ahead and check out to see how we're gonna check out some videos about car steering, and maybe you all won't be able to find it as fascinating as I have. All right, so and also I have a notepad over here for me to put links to videos in the description. All right, so here we go.
The new Hyundai Sonata with remote smart parking assist. You won't find that on Accord, Camry.
When you learn to drive, the most difficult control to master is that of steering. Do you know there are some amazing physics and mechanisms beneath the steering wheel, which keeps the vehicle on the right track without any skidding of the wheels? This video will demonstrate why we need such mechanisms for steering, and how they work. We will also understand the workings of power steering mechanisms. We thank Brilliant.org for supporting this video. The amazing thing about an automobile is that if you just tilt the front wheels as shown, the whole vehicle will make a turn. However, why doesn't the vehicle carry on moving in a straight line even after the wheels have tilted? To get the answer to this question, we have to understand the physics behind the most significant invention of mankind, the physics of wheels. In a wheel, which is rolling perfectly, the velocity of the wheel at the contact point should always be 0. This will make sure that there won't be any slippage between the stationary road and the wheel at the contact point. But how can a moving wheel have 0 velocity at a point on its surface? This condition is possible because the wheel has 2 kinds of motion. The wheel moves along in the direction of the car, and it also rotates along its axis. When we sum these 2 components at the bottom of the wheel, you can see they are in opposite directions, and they cancel each other out. Just keep this simple principle of a rolling wheel in mind, and you will be able to perfectly understand the steering mechanism. Assume that even...
Okay, my mind's a little blown right now. Okay. Alright, so basically I think, since I don't really understand basic physics, is that the wheel is actually spinning in 2 directions. Like it goes this way, and then it also goes this way, but it also needs to go this way in order for you to go that way. So what it is in really is that it's going this way. I think this is how it goes. When it comes to that. Jeez, man. So I really gotta understand basic physics in order for me to understand how to drive a car. Okay. And the top is going twice as fast as the car. Man, to me, that's mind-blowing.
Even after...
I got to remind myself never to look at a car the same way.
The wheel turns that the car carries on moving straight. Let's again check the rotational and translational velocities at the contact point of the wheel. You can see that the rotational velocity is inclined, but the translational velocity is straight. Due to this, the velocities will not cancel each other out.
Okay. Okay, so... Yeah, you're telling me, but my mind's a little blown myself. Okay. So, what this thing is, I guess from what this thing is saying, is that it's like, when you turn your car, the wheel goes this way, but at the same time, it's going forward. But so when you turn your car, it's actually going this way, but at the same time, it's going forward. Okay.
And this will lead to skidding. The only way to achieve the zero velocity condition is to make sure the translational velocity is also inclined.
Okay, so...
This is possible only when the whole car turns with respect to a particular center point.
Okay.
In this snapshot, this fact is shown perfectly. Here, all four wheels meet the perfect conditions of rolling. One major thing to be noted here is that, for such a perfect turn, the perpendicular lines from the front wheels should meet the real wheel axis at a common point.
Jeez.
This condition is the principle of steering. If you observe carefully, you will note that the angles turned by the left and right wheels are not the same.
Okay, I think I may understand. Okay, I think I may understand. When you turn your car, the wheel is actually going backwards when it comes to velocity. And then I guess the translation angle must have been... Maybe the translation angle is this? Yeah, the translation angle is this, so... Oh, freaking A! Okay, I really gotta understand physics in order for me to drive a car. Okay. Alright, so basically I can only assume from this picture is that when you turn your car, it actually matches, I guess, the same velocity for the back tire. So this and this would equal that thing to go down there. How to crash a car. Think about this while driving. Exactly.
This means that for perfect steering, the left...
Yeah. Okay. Alright, so it looks like is that the two front tires... yeah, the two front tires are making the turn. But the tires in the back needs to meet the same velocity as the... yeah. Okay. So I guess the back tires need to meet the same high angle as the two tires that are making the turn in order for it to go along the same time as the car. Jeez.
Left and right wheels should turn at different angles. The steering mechanism is used to carry out this purpose. The most commonly used steering mechanism in modern vehicles is the rack and pinion type. Let's see how this mechanism manages to steer the vehicle. A rack is at the center of this mechanism. This rack is constrained so that it can only move in a straight line.
Okay.
The pinion, which comes from the steering, can make this rack move. A part called a steering arm is attached to both of the wheels. This part is constrained so it only has a rotational motion along the axis shown.
Okay.
The steering arm is connected to the car frame via a roller bearing. This makes sure that it can only turn. A tie rod connects.
Okay, and I have... Okay, and I have to drive to the store in about 2 hours from now. Okay, I'm sorry, Ebba, but didn't mean for anyone to get scared of driving.
The steering arm to the rack. The tie rod can have both translational and rotational motion. Now, just observe what happens to the wheels when the rack moves. You can see that the left and right wheels are turning at different angles. If you track the meeting point of the left and right wheels, you can see the meeting point.
Okay, and we know all this from my summer car. Exactly, Ebba. If you can put together a car from scratch, that means you know every single nut and bolt, nook and cranny of the car. So you'll know if something is wrong, you know what it is.
Always lies on the rear wheel line. Thus, the rack and pinion mechanism perfectly.
Hence why that when I play my summer car, is that I would definitely consider it a victory for me. I mean, for the car, yeah, for me driving a car all the way to Periyarvi for the first time, I consider that a victory because something had to go wrong at some point.
Satisfies the conditions needed for steering.
Hello there, Sutton, Mr. Spicy Gaming. How are you doing today?
Due to this, the vehicle makes a turn without slipping.
What if it's winter? I think it may slip.
The steering we have discussed so far was the manual type. Nowadays, electric motor-assisted power steering is widely used on most cars. Electric power steering makes the steering action effortless and more accurate. A column-assisted power steering unit is shown here. Here, a brushless DC motor drives the steering column and the pinion. The motor is capable of rotating in both clockwise and anti-clockwise directions.
Okay, so I guess this is similar to automatic transmission. This thing here is like an automatic transmission to steering. Okay, so I'm not sure what I like better, manual steering or power steering.
An electronic control unit decides the amount of power the motor should transfer to the column. The ECU takes the following inputs, such as the torque the driver has applied to the steering wheel, the steering angle, the steering wheel's speed, and the vehicle's speed, and then decides the appropriate torque to be supplied.
Okay. Okay. So I guess from what this person is saying is that this thing here is the brains of your steering, and that it would automatically adjust your steering based upon how much torque you put into your steering. Okay.
To be supplied. A Hall effect-based sensor and torsion bar arrangement is used to measure the driver's torque input.
Yep.
Due to the motor's power assistance, the steering wheel rotation becomes effortless for the driver. Do you think this is a perfect mechanism? Wait for a moment and think about what happens to this steering in the case of a motor failing. You might be aware of the fact that a worm screw can turn a worm gear, but a worm gear cannot turn a worm screw. This means that if the motor fails, any manual rotation by the driver will be blocked by this constraint of the worm drive. In short, the steering becomes jammed. To overcome this issue, the rotation from the steering wheel is never directly connected to the worm gear. Instead, it passes through a planetary gear set. Here, the driver's rotation is this video slipping makes the steering sections. Torque the driver has sensor and torsion bar arrangement is used to measure the driver distance. The steering wheel rotation becomes effortless for the driver. Think about what happens. that if the motor
Okay,
fails,
there we go.
any manual rotation by the driver will be blocked by this constraint.
If I move a couple wires, can I make the wheels turn the wrong way? Yes, I am no car expert, nor am I an expert in physics. But maybe you could. Maybe you could.
Constraint of the worm drive. In short, the steering becomes jammed. To overcome.
Okay, so I see what it's saying. At some point, it's like that if this thing ever becomes jammed or something like that.
This issue.
So they have something in place to prevent such an issue.
Rotation from the steering wheel is never directly connected to the worm.
Yeah, see? The steering wheel is not exactly connected to this part here. Yeah, so it's not really connected. Okay, so what's going on in here must have been the thing that turns this. So the steering wheel should not be jammed. Okay.
Worm gear. Instead, it passes through a planetary gear set.
Yeah, that. Okay, so this thing over here goes into the middle of this thing here. And then this thing will help to spin this around. Okay, so it's not really touching this. Okay. I think that'll definitely help to keep the steering safe.
Here, the driver's rotation is given to the sun gear.
Yeah.
The output is drawn from the carrier, and the worm gear also becomes.
Okay, there it goes. I had a feeling it was gonna be like that. It's like having an 1800s clock with all those gears inside. You would have this middle thing, and then these three things must have been used to help steer the car, and then this thing over here goes to that. Okay, so it's not touching the outside, so it wouldn't get jammed. Okay.
Comes ring gear of the planetary gear set. During normal operation, power from the ring gear will be easily transferred to the carrier. In case of motor failure, the ring gear cannot move. However, you can see the driver's manual rotation of the sun gear will be transferred to the carrier and finally to the pinion gear.
Okay.
Would you like to learn in detail about more fascinating mechanisms, similar to steering, using interactive bite-sized learning? Then Brilliant.org is the right place for you. Please check out Brilliant.org's interactive automobile courses in the description.
Jeez! Okay, I really didn't know that there was that many mechanisms when it comes to car steering. Jeez, and I played My Summer Car. And I played My Summer Car. I guess this is from Power Steering. Yeah, I think this is from Power Steering. So I guess it's a lot different because the Satsuma is a manual transmission car. So odds are it is also manual steering. So luckily, and I'm hoping that Topless Gun for My Summer Car does not think about doing that in my winter car. Making a person put together a power steering mechanism together. Oh man, I would be trolled for doing that. I would definitely be trolled in the chat for doing that. Saying, haha, Mario can't put together a power steering mechanism. Okay, or the backwards brain bicycle. A very confusing bicycle steering video. Vilperin. Yeah, Vilpertin. How's it going? I am fine. Thank you very much for asking. And I was contemplating on being a car engineer, but at the same time, might not be a good idea. I might accidentally put up a car malfunction by accident, so it's best for me not to be a car engineer. And also is that I was fascinated for the past maybe 10 or perhaps even 12 years. I was fascinated by how cars can steer. Like the history of vehicle steering. Like before automobiles, we had to use reins on a horse in order for it to turn left or right. And even before horses, we had to, in order for us to get from place to place in the middle of the sea, you had to use a ship. And I don't think, if I remember correctly, that ships in the ancient era did not come with the ship's steering wheel. So you would have to use a lot of people to row, and the captain would have to tell the people to turn left or right. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and copy that. And we'll put you... There we go. Let's go give that a like. that is a very interesting topic, to be honest. Now you see what I mean about why I do randomness days. I find something over the internet that I'm interested that I could be interested in, and I do a live stream on it. Okay, look at this video if you want. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the comments on this video, and then I'll go ahead and take a look into that video. Okay. I want that dress extension technology. We get 449.
Steering column and the pinion.
It's talking about the dress. I want that dress extension. I remember the clutch being harder to learn than turning. Oh no, not really. The clutch is easy. It's like once you learn how to shift, once you learn how to do the stick shift, it's pretty darn easy. I would know. I play my summer car. I actually did the same thing today. I was watching videos on PID controllers. They are very interesting. Okay, we'll do that one a little later. LOL at the 449, the dress extension and zooming on the power steering. When a girl catches you steering column uses the steering column uses a planetary gear set. PTSD flashbacks to automatic transmission video. Topless gun, I am definitely darn serious. Please do not make us put together a power steering mechanism. The The most difficult control to master is that of steering. This man has never driven standard transmission. This video has too much sex appeal. Alright. Alright. Oh man. That was funny. Alright. Let's take a look at Epip's video. Oh. Okay, let's go ahead. Alright, copy link address. There we go. And put you here. Okay, no, that didn't work. Okay, let's go ahead and try to click on the link. Okay, now I gotta get chat back. Alright, so I gotta get chat back. Alright. Okay. Holy crap, already with 8 views already. Holy crap. Okay, alright, where was it? Oh yeah, we go ahead, let's see. Heading over. Okay, gotta head over to here. Okay, and pop the chat. There we go. Okay. Okay, let's try this. Let's see. Copy link address. Okay. Okay, Epip, it would seem is that I tried to copy your link and it won't let me put it in. Okay. How to steer a car. Learn to drive, control skills. Okay, or just search backwards brain bicycle maybe. Will do.
Being able to steer your car properly is a crucial part of being a safe driver.
Yes, it is.
You must be able to precisely steer your car around any bend or junction you come across while staying in the correct road position.
Oh, trust me.
In this video, we will show you a few...
Okay, trust me. I'm playing my summer car. I'm never, and I mean I'm never in my right lane. Nor would I put signal lights, would I turn my signal lights on when I make a turn. And I say F the speed limit. That's how I do things in my summer car. People want me to stay in my lane? F them. I'll go ahead and go. People want me to go on the left lane? Screw them. I'm going on the right.
steering techniques for different types of bends and junctions.
I'm kidding.
Keep watching right to the end for more bonus footage after the end titles.
That's a stick shift.
You should adjust your seat and steering wheel.
I've never driven one on that side. This is because it is a British car. Yeah, it's definitely a British car. You can tell that it's a British car because of the British narrator.
To ensure your driving position is comfortable and that you are able to control the steering wheel effectively.
Oh yeah, he's using a manual
After
transmission.
adjusting
Oh,
your
whoa!
seat, check your reach to the
Whoa!
steering wheel.
What?
And that you are able to control the steering wheel.
Watch this. Watch this. He's doing a pog move right here. He's doing a pog move.
Effectively.
Did you see that? Did you freaking see that? He just went from a regular car driver to an airplane pilot with that. You pop the... In America, we don't have things like that. What the F word? We need to have that in America. To have like, you know, like you put the key in, and then somehow the steering wheel pops out when you pull it. Giving the driver possibly even more control. Instead of doing like...
After adjusting your seat, check your reach to the steering wheel, as you should be able to run your hands all around the wheel without
Again,
stretching.
stick shift.
Many cars have adjustable steering columns to allow you to move the wheel to the best position for you.
In America, we don't have that.
You can still read all the instruments afterwards.
If anyone out there in America who has adjustable steering wheels, please let me know.
You should normally hold the wheel in the top half with both hands level at either the 10 to 2 or quarter to 3
he's
position.
driving a manual
Just
transmission.
use whichever feels more comfortable for you.
He knows when to shift up or down.
Will allow you to use the indicator and wiper stalks without having to move your hands too much. If you hold the wheel too firmly, it may make your hands ache. So try to hold the wheel with a relaxed grip.
Okay, that makes sense.
You to feel the feedback from the front wheels.
Okay, sorry for pausing the video, but does anyone out there drives a car with a very tight grip? There is a lever underneath the steering wheel to unlock the movement of steering wheel. Well, I was looking around the steering wheel for such a lever. I couldn't really find it in any American car. It's like, you know how it is, like, you see a car from the outside, you say, ooh, that is a cool looking car, and then you look around to see if there was that lever. I didn't see it.
So you know how much grip the tyres have to the road beneath. Unless you are changing gear, you should try to keep both hands on the wheel at all times.
Nuh-uh.
This will give you the best control of the car and allow you to react quickly in an emergency.
Okay, this is a joke. I'm gonna say that what I'm about to say is a joke. Many Americans out there, a lot of them drive with only one hand. One hand on the stick shift and the other hand on the wheel. But that was like during manual transmission. Sometimes, but now in America we have a thing called automatic transmission, where all you have to do is to put the car in drive. Okay, on most modern cars, it does. It does. It's so short people don't have to stand on the seat. Oh, okay, makes sense. Makes sense then. But still, if I were to have something like that if I were to drive a car and have something like that, that'd have been so awesome.
If you are driving your car around gentle corners, you can steer without moving your hands on the wheel. You can normally steer the wheel about a quarter turn in either direction, and this will be enough to get you round many gentle bends. One advantage of keeping your hands in this position is that you can straighten out easily after the bend, as your hands and wheel return to their normal driving position.
Okay, that's cool.
Always turn the steering wheel smoothly, as
definitely in England, because
car skidding and give your passenger.
Okay, sorry for pausing the video. It is definitely England. I have seen similar areas when I was looking at mods for Farming Simulator 19, and some of them showed up as England. I'm not exactly sure in England, maybe Yorkshire, maybe? Maybe Sheffingham, maybe? One hand on the beer and the other on the bong. Oh man.
Passengers
Good
are
one,
more
Ebib.
comfortable ride. If you ever feel the steering wheel lighten up noticeably whilst cornering, this may be a sign that your tyres have lost their grip to the road, so try to gently slow down to regain control.
Never want your tires to lose grip of the road.
If you need to steer around a tighter bend, you will need to turn the steering wheel
Definitely
much
in the
more
UK.
over a gentle bend, so you will have to use a different steering technique. We recommend feeding the wheel between your hands. This allows you.
Okay, sorry for pausing it. I had to answer a reply in the chat. Tom's7. How's Valheim doing? How's Valheim going? Valheim is going just fine. I had to take a break from Valheim. I had to take a break from streaming Valheim, due to the fact is that I died at the second boss. I died from the Elder. And I died due to the fact is that I forgot to carry stamina regenerating drinks. And I forgot to put down a portal that leads from my base to near the boss area, so I can just quickly grab my stuff. So my ship is near the boss, so I had to build a new ship, and I had to make new armor, and all that prep work. And I nearly had it too.
You to steer as much as you need in either direction in full control. Your left hand should stay on the left side of the steering wheel and the right hand on the right side. The wheel is then fed from one hand to the other without either hand crossing over to the opposite side of the steering wheel.
Oh, you definitely don't want your hands to cross
Crossing
over.
your hands is best avoided normally, as it could be dangerous.
Okay, it's okay. Epep says it's unsafe to stand on the seat and drive. Oh, I did that. Okay, Tom's7, I definitely did that. I crafted up fire arrows, and I hid behind the stone pillars, but it seems that I wasn't aware that the boss has some kind of secondary attack. I thought it was just only ranged, but nope. The Elder actually has a secondary attack, and the secondary attack is when, like, if I were to, let's say, move behind a stone pillar, the frickin' boss just summons up a bunch of roots. Yeah, a bunch of roots from the ground, and those roots frickin' almost annihilated me. So I had to run from the roots, I had to run from the boss's ranged attack, and then somehow the boss just frickin' went ahead and summoned a few mobs I had to deal with. And so I had to deal with possibly the roots, I had to deal with mobs, and then I had to deal with getting out of the way of the Elder's ranged attack. I was like, come on. Come on, Elder. Give me a break.
If you have an
Oh,
accident
man.
and the car's airbag deploys. Let's have another look at this technique in slow motion.
You're right about that, Epip.
Notice how the hands grip the wheel alternately to turn the wheel smoothly. Most cars' steering wheels will turn approximately 1.5 turns in either direction, so be ready to move your hands for tight corners.
Okay.
We'll just steer around this gentle corner before we get to the next tight bend. So we prepare our hands and then feed the wheel as we steer around the bend and straighten up again.
switched from State Farm because of this site. They had me paying $163 a month.
When turning right or left at T-junctions, you will need to steer your car quickly.
Okay, TJ junctions. Okay, let me see what in the world a TJ junction is. Okay, T-junction. Okay, a T-junction. An intersection of routes where one road terminates as it joins a usually higher priority road, approximately 90 degrees. I think that's what it is, 90 degrees, which is an angle, I think. Okay, so I see. Okay, so it looks like, okay, so this road and this road. Okay, this is a joke. What I'm about to say is a joke. Why does the T look like a dick? This should be called the D junction. Yeah, the D junction instead of the T junction. This road and this road meets up to this road. Okay. Hubba bubba.
Quickly and precisely if you are to stay in your lane.
Okay, so I guess this first is going into a T junction. Okay.
Let's watch as we drive around a few tight junctions in this residential area.
Believe me, in my summer car, I would never put my signal lights on.
You may need to turn the wheel a full turn right or left, and then quickly straighten up. It is important to drive the car at a slow enough speed to give us the time to steer. You can see that we are down to about 10 miles per hour in this case for each junction.
I guess it would make sense. It's a residential zone.
After you have steered around a tight corner, you will need to straighten your steering up.
Okay, right there. Yeah, right here. Let's see. Yeah, right there. Right there. If I were to play my summer car, this kind of stuff here would scare me. Like there's a car here and a car there, and you have to go between those cars. Like this over here is one piece of bread. This over here is one piece of bread. In the middle, you are the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You know, you're the peanut butter and the jelly in order to help to make the sandwich. I would be scared. I would have to be astronomically precise in order for me to drive in there. Look where people are parked any direction they feel like. Oh yeah, that's indeed true, Epic. You are right. Here in the States, I think here in the States, or perhaps it is still in England, is that you want to have your car to face the point of traffic. Like this car over here is not facing up. So if you were to, let's say, going down this way, it would end up going into the car. Unless he or she's going to make a turn this way, maybe. So you definitely want to have your car to face up towards the traffic. Oh, that way you'll just move up. Like this car here is facing downwards. Yeah, because this car here knows that it's going to go downwards. But this car over here is facing the wrong direction.
You're steering up. The best way to do this is to smoothly steer the wheel back to the straight ahead position, as this will ensure you have full control of the car and stay in.
Like, see? Like, look at these cars right here. Like, see? This car? Like, I'll show you.
Ahead position, as this will ensure you.
Like, see? That car there?
You have full control.
That car there?
Control of the car.
Yeah, see that car there?
And.
But what is this right here? Like, every single car is facing up. But this car here, it's like it's facing downwards. Like, when that person is going to get out of his or her parking spot, that car is going to be into an accident. Because it seems that car, like this car here, when it goes up, this car here may thought that this car is also going to go up.
Stay in the correct road position. It may be tempting to let the steering wheel slip through your hands and straighten
once
itself,
again,
but this.
Once again, I am an American, so I don't know how British parking violations would be, but I'm looking at these through an American point of view. So if anyone out there who is from the UK can tell me if parking in the opposite way of traffic, like this for instance, is that allowed?
It may be tempting to let the steering wheel slip through your hands and straighten itself, but this gives much less control and will be less precise. If you let your car hit the curb or cross the centre of the road, it could cause danger, so make sure you straighten up carefully to stay in your lane at all times. Here,
roundabouts.
Take a look at how to steer around.
Oh man, you all remember when we did a live stream about roundabouts? that was one of the most funniest streams ever. Some people that are from the UK who told me about the Windsor roundabout, and I was thinking to myself, what the frick? Jeez, how can people use that? In case that some of you may not know what the Windsor roundabout is, it is basically a roundabout within a roundabout. It's a big roundabout that has smaller roundabouts inside that roundabout. TB, long time no see. TB, how are you doing today? Welcome to the stream. Okay, this is why we all left England, cause they couldn't park correctly. Oh, that's definitely right, Epip.
Around 2 different size roundabouts. We can see.
I'll show you all the pictures of it. No, not Gmail. Google Images. Where is it? Ah, this one. I think it's this one. Yeah, this one. No, in fact, no, it's not that one. It's definitely close enough, though. But look at that freaking roundabout. Jeez. Okay, which one was it? I know a viewer showed me a link to it. Let's see. Okay, England. Ah, here we go. There it is. This one. Like, see, this right here is the Windsor roundabout. And I did a live stream about roundabouts. That is insane. See what I mean? There's a roundabout here, roundabout here, roundabout here, roundabout over there, roundabout here, and there's a roundabout in the middle. So you would have to go through this roundabout to go over here, go into that roundabout to go in here, to go around here into that roundabout, and then you can go ahead and go over this way into. Okay. And people says that this is a very safe roundabout. Okay, so let's see. The car is gonna go through here, and then I guess they're gonna go through there to over there. The car is gonna go ahead and go through here, then maybe they'll end up being over there. I would be scared to death to be in this roundabout. Okay, TB says, change my name. Surprised you know who I am. I'm TB FYI. Yeah, I had a feeling of that because of how it sounds like. How your name sounds like. But thank you very much, TB, and welcome back to the stream. Okay.
The first roundabout is quite small, so we will need to feed the steering wheel quickly to stay in our lane carefully.
Trust me, once again, in my summer car, I'm never in my right lane.
It is important to adjust your speed according to the size of the roundabout. The smaller the roundabout, the slower you should be going, as this will give you time to control your steering safely. The next roundabout is much larger, so this will
Okay, in a circle in the middle to park all the crash cars in. Exactly, Epiv.
need much gentler steering, and this won't need us to move our hands this time as we steer around and then off the roundabout.
Okay, what this lady is saying is that we should all slow down depending on the size of the roundabout. So for instance, if you drove around in a big roundabout, odds are you would need to go pretty slow, but at the same time, maybe a little fast. But if you're in a smaller roundabout, you would have to be really slow. Good to know.
When manoeuvring your car, you will often need to steer quickly to full lock. Don't worry if you find yourself occasionally crossing your hands a little. As long as the car is still in full control and a manoeuvre is completed safely, then that is fine.
Good old stick shift. This is from 2016, and it really is true that many Europeans still drive a stick shift. Here in the United States, stick shift is extinct.
Remember, hold the wheel gently in the correct position. Look ahead and assess how tight each bend is. Steer precisely with the correct technique and straighten up smoothly without letting the wheel slip. We hope you found this video interesting. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the bonus footage.
Okay. Bonus footage. A drive through Bury Street, St. Edmunds. We're watching a pro at work. Okay, let me see who. Okay, I gotta. Okay. Okay, that was cool. I'm gonna go and give that video a like. Alright, let's go ahead and copy the link. And I'll put it into this. There we go. Okay, copy that. And let's see. There we go. There we go. Okay. I want to take a look at the comments. Am I the only one that oversteers? It's so frustrating. I just don't know when to stop moving the steering wheel. I like the narrator. She's like reading a bedtime story in Animal Planet. A bedtime story of being an awesome driver. When I saw this video, I read the title as How to Steal a Car. I find steering the hardest. Switching gears is mad easy, but steering is just horrific. I can't do push and pull. It's too hard for me. So done. Who else get the feeling of driving an actual car? That is so me sometimes. It's like when some people watch a YouTube video and then they watch the whole video and then you say, I think I could become an expert in driving. But then reality hits you and you're like, holy crap, what am I doing? Okay, I am relieved when I read the comments knowing that I'm not the only one who had bad controlling the steering wheel. Okay, I have learned everything except I have learned everything except the steering wheel. Especially when you make a U-turn and reverse, and this video is very informative. I told my driver's ed teacher that I knew how to steer this morning because today is my first drive. Thanks to this video, I do know how to steer, so even I'm still anxious, I'm more prepared. Oh, that is awesome. Okay, I've driven that route more times than I care to remember while driving between Essex and Norfolk. My wife has just started taking lessons and likes the presentation. F yeah. Oh man, that was cool. That was cool. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, top 10 tips for new drivers. Okay, this I gotta see. Come on, man. Come on, video. Give me some of those sweet tips.
Watch me do my thing.
Me? Wearing this. Whatever you do, try not to think about it. What happened? Have I
much you thought about it, didn't you?
Nope.
Maybe just a little?
Nope.
Well, it's actually a mind trick. And I wanted to show you how easy it is to pop an image into somebody's mind. But what if you could do that with a mobile?
On the
Tip
gas
one, the
gauge,
little arrow.
there's a little arrow that points to the side where the hole for the gas tank is.
I
On
don't
this
remember
car,
that
it's
arrow.
on the right side.
I don't remember that arrow.
On this one, it's on the left. And on this one, it's on the left too. This tip can be useful if you rent or borrow a car, or if you often use different cars. If, when
Hubba bubba.
exiting a back street or a narrow street, you have to cross a sidewalk and you don't see to the sides because of the building walls, look for reflections in the doors of the parked cars, if there are any.
That's clever. Okay, so that's definitely clever. Like, if you can't see around, it's like if you can't see around a building, especially before you make a turn, you use the car's clean windows in order for it to make a reflection on if it's safe to go to the left or the right. Okay.
To see if there's somebody coming on the sidewalk.
You're not okay. You're not eyeing someone's car. You're just using their windows as a way for you to know if you need to turn left or the right.
To what side do I have to turn the steering wheel when backing up? People tend to believe that, for example, if we want to back up to the right, we have to turn the wheel to the left, meaning we have to invert the way we turn the wheel since we're backing up. It's very simple. You always turn the steering wheel to the side where you want to go, no matter if you're backing up or moving forward. If I turn the wheel to the left, I move forward to the left, and if I back up to the left too. If I turn the wheel to the right and move forward, I go to the right, and if I back up, I go to the right too. Example, if I want to parallel park on the right side of the street, I turn the wheel to the right, then I back up.
Okay. Okay, is that true? Anyone who has ever driven a car, is that really true? Like, if you wanted to go, if you want to park on the right side of the street, okay, pull up and block them and ask them if cars are coming. That would be such an awesome meme. But I guess it would make sense then, Epip.
Another tip related to the steering wheel, especially when doing 90 degrees parkings, is how to know if the wheels are straight. For the wheels to be straight, the steering wheel also has to be straight. But there are 3 positions where the steering wheel can be straight. Wheels straight, 1 turn to the left, and 1 turn to the right. So, to know if the wheels are straight, we straighten the steering wheel no matter what its actual position is, and we move forward a bit. If we go straight, it means the wheels are straight. If we go to the left, we turn the steering wheel 1 turn to the right and the wheels are straight. And if we go to the right, we turn the wheel 1 turn to the left and the wheels are straight.
Oh, okay. I'll have to try that sometime. I'm definitely gonna have to try that.
Talking about 90-degree parking, here's a very common mistake. When you're exiting a parking by backing up between 2 cars, don't turn the steering wheel right away. If you do, you'll hit one of the cars depending on what side you turn your steering wheel. Always back up as much as you can before turning the steering wheel, ideally until you got out of the parking spot completely.
Okay, So what this guy is basically saying, if there is no loud crunchy noises. Makes sense then. Definitely makes sense. Okay. And so I can only assume what this guy is saying is that if you want to back up from a car parking lot, you have to make sure that you are straight and only turn when you think that you can turn without bumping into cars.
The closer
Nice.
the cars on the sides, the more you have to back up before turning the wheel. If you're driving on a street where there are no parked cars on one side and no visible lines on the asphalt, and you don't know if it's a one or two-way street, look at the panels on the other side of the street. If you see the back of them, like in this case, it means you're on a two-way street. If you see the front of them, you're on a one-way street.
Okay.
Here we're approaching an intersection where the stop sign on our side is completely hidden by a bush and we only see it at the last second, which is very dangerous, especially if the cars coming on the other axle don't have a stop sign.
Yeah, you're right, that is dangerous.
In this case, look at the other side of the intersection. If we see the back of a stop sign...
Okay, and if you need to hit a car, make sure it looks like a girl's car. It's the old, it's a pickup a girl thing, right? It is totally a pickup a girl thing. You so-called accidentally crashed into a girl's car. And then you would be like, and then the girl comes out. And then she'll go ahead and she might give you her number as a way to get contact information. So, you two would be able to go into court together and thus paying her off, paying off her insurance or whatever. And you would still have her number.
It means that we also have a stop on our side. Same thing here with the truck blocking the stop on the right side. When going from a stop position on a very steep hill, when you let go of the brakes, the car will have a tendency to back up. If you have a car with an automatic transmission, hold the brake with your left foot and...
Okay, she is less likely to kick your butt. Yeah, exactly.
Accelerate while letting go of the brake. If you have a manual transmission car, hold the handbrake and lower it while letting go of the clutch and accelerating a bit.
Manual transmission for the win.
When you try to start the engine and the ignition key won't turn because it's blocked, it's because the steering wheel is also blocked. In that case, move the steering wheel to the left and right with your left hand while turning the key at the same time. Most of the time, the steering wheel is blocked because we tend to lean on it while exiting the car. If a vehicle is following you closely with its I-beams on, you'll be blinded. By pulling the small lever underneath your central rearview mirror, you'll still see what's going on but won't be blinded anymore. I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching.
Okay, so that's what that little lever thing is. I was wondering about that. In several cars that I have been in, there was indeed a little lever that's underneath a little lever that was underneath a front view mirror. Yeah, a front view mirror, and I was wondering what in the world does that do? But now I know what it's used for. It's used for when a person has high beams and you don't want to be blinded by those high beams, so that little lever is to make sure that the front view mirror goes up and thus not letting you be blinded by those high beams. Okay, that's cool.
Root is a new type of car.
Alright, I gotta go ahead and copy that. Okay. Okay, there we go. Copy that. Okay. Adjust your windshield wipers to spray all the car behind you. Ain't that a freaking James Bond thing? Yeah, James Bond gadget car. You would have James Bond's car to spray to adjust his windshields to spray on the enemy, to spray on the car behind him. That is something that James Bond would have done. Okay, there you go. And let's go give it a like. There we go. Oh yeah, I forgot. I forgot Vilperin. Okay. Where is it? Ah, here we go. Was watching videos on PID controllers. Let's take a look at PID controllers. Okay, what is a PID controller? Okay, let's take a look.
Build custom industrial machines.
Welcome back, and thank you for checking out this latest video brought to you by RealPars. Today, you will learn about PIDs, specifically what they are and when do we use them with automation and PLCs.
Okay.
Before we get into today's video, if you love our videos, be sure to click the like button below, and make sure to click subscribe and the bell.
Okay, this is gonna be a stereotypical YouTuber thing, content creator thing that I would be doing right now. If you want me to go ahead and keep on doing these randomness days, be sure to hit the like button.
To receive notifications of new RealPars videos. This way, you never miss another one. So what is a PID controller? It is an acronym that stands for Proportional Integral Derivative. If you need to keep something constant, like a temperature for example, then this is the way to do it. Essentially, it uses a control loop feedback to ensure the output wanted is what you will get. Simply, you put a setting in the controller and it will keep the output constant based on feedback from some input, typically some kind of sensor.
Yeah, these are pretty cool. Yeah, they do look pretty darn cool. Yeah, you're right about that. Okay, so I can only guess is that this remote here, you can choose the input and the output from this remote. And then it goes to then the command goes into here, then it goes into here to keep a constant heat going. Okay, sub to Mr. Spicy Gaming says, I am so Asian I can't see. Okay, reminds me of a Family Guy joke. I guess it would be Peter Griffin, Peter Griffin, well, you get the idea. It's from Family Guy. Okay.
Something you probably encounter every day that is essentially PID control is your cruise control in your vehicle. First,
Okay, so a PID is inside the car. Okay, so a PID is cruise control. Okay, so in order for you to maintain a speed when you're using cruise control, the PID helps maintain the temperature in order to keep that speed at a constant. Okay, I understand now. The more gas you put, the more faster you are. But when it comes to cruise control, it's the same principle. Except for it is keeping the heat at a level in order to keep it constant on cruise control. So that's how car automation. That's how car speed automation would be held, I guess.
you get to the speed that you want to be going. Then
Or
you
it
set
looks
your
like
cruise
a cat
control.
anime girl.
The cruise control sends output signals to your throttle to regulate the speed.
Yep, definitely like
A
that.
speed sensor provides your control loop feedback to tell the cruise if the car should speed up or slow down, or how much more or less
Used in
throttle
very
to
many
provide.
applications. Oh, awesome.
A common standalone type that we use in manufacturing and industry is a temperature controller PID. These controllers are pretty simple to use and set up. Plus, they do a great job at controlling temperatures of a variety of equipment. Let's take a look at how they work.
No, Mara lost
For
2
our
subs.
example, we will look at a PID controller that controls the temperature of heat tracing on process piping. First, we need to enter a set point, 200 degrees Fahrenheit for our example. Now, the controller will give a signal to the output to start heating up the heat tracing. The control loop feedback is in the form of a thermocouple to read the temperature. For our example, the PID controller can work as an on-off control for the heat tracing.
Okay, so basically, so I see now. So it would reach 200 degrees Fahrenheit, and it'll keep it on. And then if it were to go above 200 degrees, it turns itself off. And then it'll get back up to 200 degrees when you turn it back on. And then once it does it again, it'll turn itself off. Okay, that is cool.
Along with the set point of 200 degrees, we will set the controller at a couple of degrees above and below 200 as well. When the thermocouple reads 202 degrees,
okay, Mario has a mustache and yet he's a cat daddy. Meow.
it will turn the heat tracing off. When it reads 198, it will turn it back on. This is the simplest form of PID control. We also have the option of setting up a PID controller with a PLC. Instead of the standalone unit, we can use the input and output cards already on our PLC. The process variable, or control loop feedback, would be wired to our input card and programmed into the PID. Our output being controlled is wired to our output card. The PID and the PLC can do all of the math and make the decisions based on the variables and set points.
Way to go, technology, you're getting rid of humans.
No matter which way you decide to set it up, a PID is an excellent choice for an automated process. Let's look back at today's information. A PID controller is a proportional integral derivative controller. It can keep an automated process, like temperature, pressure, or flow, constant for you automatically.
Awesome.
PIDs use a control loop feedback or process variable to monitor where the output should be. These usually come in the form of sensors and meters.
Okay, I think you might be able to take away the 13 at the end of your name, since YouTube can allow you to have names similar to other people. Okay.
PIDs come in many different forms, including standalone units and PLC programming. We can use our input and output cards along with programming software to set up a PID. I hope this video really helped you get a grasp of how to use a PID. They are a very handy tool to use. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe so you never miss another RealPars video.
Okay. Okay, that is interesting. Oh man, my mind's about to blow. Like, oh man. Okay. Yeah, it's shorter than your name, just saying. Oh, okay. I'll think about shortening. I'll think about shortening my YouTube name. Okay. Now then, what was I doing? Oh yes. This PID controller is something else. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so this thing okay, this thing over here does the logic. Okay, so let me see. This thing over here helps control the heat and the pressure and so forth like that. And then this thing over here, then the programming software helps the logic controller to optimize how it does things by putting in the algorithms and stuff in it for this. I can only assume. Jeez. Holy crap. Yeah, PID is confusing. Yes, it is epic, especially knowing that it is inside cars. Like if you ever use cruise control, it activates the PID. The PID helps the cruise control to maintain a speed. Wow. Okay, my mind is blown with this thing. Expecting something on feed-forward control loop system. Okay. Is auto-tuning function works well in real life? I haven't tried it yet. I'm afraid it to start the process. Man. Alright, I gotta go ahead and copy the link. Copy that. Okay. Okay. It is definitely confusing. Okay, there we go. Oops. Okay, oh. Okay, there we go. Understanding wheel alignment. When I was playing my summer car, I was a total pro at wheel alignment. I tried... Okay, I tried a 2021 Tesla Model S yoke steering wheel. I got yoked. Yoke steering in a new Tesla 21 would be like I mocked up. Car judgment explained easy. How to flush your power steering fluid. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, I have arrived. Okay, there it is. Vilprin said something. Okay, Vilprin said something. Okay, let me read. Okay, the logic controller takes your speed. Yeah, okay, takes your speed. You put on the cruise control. Then it measures how fast you are going right now. Then it will calculate how much gas it has to be put in order for the engine to reach the wanted speed. And this process goes on and on. I knew it was something closer to that. Cat in the Blue, long time no see. How are you doing today? Welcome to the stream. Okay. Okay, let me see. Around the corner. How differential steering works. Differential gears. 13 million views 11 years ago on differential steering. 1937. I always wonder what retro steering would look like. Holy crap! Chevrolet, make more commercials like this. Whoa! Whoa! What the crap? What the frick? What? What? fudge! Take that, England! Americans make better commercials. I'm kidding. What the fudge?
Formations like these require long hours of intensive drilling and careful judgment. When the troop goes around the corner, the riders on the outside of the turn have to adjust their speed to keep even with the riders on the inside.
Okay.
The man on the outside has to ride a lot farther and a lot faster in order to keep up with the parade. The outside wheels must spin faster than the wheels on the inside because they have a greater distance to travel in the same length of time. When a wagon turns a corner, the wheels can travel at different speeds because each one can...
I'm sorry, but... Wow! Bravo! Mother freaking bravo! Cheerful music, insane stunts. The stunts that perhaps even Eva Knievel would be not crazy enough to do. Man! That was awesome. Okay, Epip says with a modern car with electronic fuel injection and electric power steering, you may be able to hook up a joystick. I bet I couldn't drive it. Man, I would rock at driving if there was if instead of a steering wheel, it would be a controller. I would definitely rock at driving. Cat in the Blue, how's it going? Welcome to the stream.
Can turn freely on the axles. And in the early automobiles, the rear wheels turned separately and only one wheel was connected to the engine. But when only one wheel was driven by the engine, it had to do all the work, and it couldn't get a good enough grip on the road to do its job properly. So the one-wheel drive was soon out of date. But if two wheels are locked on an axle so that they are not free to turn separately, one or the other has to slide.
Okay.
So engineers had to find a way to connect both rear wheels to the engine without sliding and slipping on turns. The device which makes this possible is a part of the rear axle.
Rear axle, I remember.
The differential, because it can drive the rear wheels at different speeds.
Differential lock. Yeah, I remember that. I played a car mechanic simulator. I had to disassemble that in order for me to fix cars.
The differential looks complicated, but once we understand its principle, it is amazingly simple. These two wheels are mounted on separate axles and supported by a frame so that they can revolve freely at different speeds. Let's fasten a spoke on the inner end of each axle so that by turning the spokes, we can turn each wheel separately. With a bar or crosspiece, we can turn both wheels in the same direction at the same rate of speed. Let's get something to hold this bar in place so that it will press against the spokes. Notice that this support is not locked to the axle. It turns freely. Now, we can spin the wheels by rotating the support. This is fine, as long as both wheels are able to turn at the same speed. But let's see what happens when we go around the corner. With this arrangement, we cannot drive one wheel faster than the other.
Can it make sense?
And if we stop one wheel, the other wheel won't budge. Let's put this bar on a pivot so that it can swing in either direction. Now,
man, this is even more difficult
the
than
bar
Mythic
can still
Ashara.
turn both wheels at the same speed. And because it pivots, it lets one wheel turn even when the other is stopped.
Jeez,
But
okay.
if turned too far, the bar will swing around until it won't drive the spokes that turn either wheel. We need another crossbar and more spokes to carry on the job.
What?
When we stop one wheel, the crossbars will continue to push the spokes of the free wheel around.
What the
As long as both wheels are free to turn. The bars do not swing on their pivot,
This is what the inside of a differential
and
lock
the wheels
looks like?
move at the same speed. Now we have the working principles of a differential. To adapt the model for use in an automobile,
so this is the inside of a differential.
we will have to make a few changes. In order to reduce the jerky action caused by wide spaces between the spokes, we will put in more spokes.
What the fudge?
Further filling in the spaces between the spokes gives steadier, more continuous action. And changing the shape gives firm, constant contact. Now we can make the gears thicker and stronger. And we have differential gears. The edges are cut so that they will fit together more smoothly and silently. And another gear is added to share the work of driving the axles. The principle is the same. In order to turn the support and drive the wheels, we can fasten a large gear here, connected by a smaller gear to a source of power.
Okay.
Notice that the power is connected to the differential at the center line. We can make our model more compact by moving the gears closer together. When we put our differential in an automobile, we have to leave room for the drive shaft, which carries the power from the engine. We may build the front of the car above the drive shaft.
Jeez. Okay. Okay, so that's what it was like to drive a differential car in the 1930s? Okay, so it is basically a set, okay, so a differential lock is like a set of gears in order for you to in order for you to turn. Okay, in order for you to turn the front wheels, I guess you need to turn the back wheels as well. Oh, man. Okay. So I guess that is before power steering.
But if we do, we won't have much room inside unless we make the top of the car high.
Simul. Your message retracted. Okay.
High too. Of course, we could lower the floor and ceiling, but the drive shaft would be higher than the floor. This would have disadvantages. A shaft in the middle.
Okay, so if the drive shaft was higher than the floor, yeah, simple, huh? Not that simple, no. Rather complicated. Okay, so basically what this person is saying is that in order to prevent this from going inside your car, I guess that you are going to need to raise the floor up. Yeah.
Closer to the road without a clumsy shaft above the floor.
Yeah.
The drive shaft from the engine to the differential is lowered out of the way, and the drive shaft is connected to the rear axle at the bottom. The new low center drive makes the rear axle quieter, stronger, and more durable because it gives better, smoother contact between the gears. The automobile of today, with the low center drive, is stronger and more rugged. Every part of the rear axle has been built to withstand strains far greater than it will ever meet on the
awesome rear
straightaway
axle right there.
or around the corner.
What the world? What the crap? Inside wheel. Outside wheel. Like I said, okay. Okay, so I see. I guess the way that they would have to demonstrate how the differential would work. Okay, I guess that the inside wheel will be going slower than the outside. Okay, so I guess in order to keep up with the speed of the outside, okay, how modern? Yeah, how modern, yeah.
I'm Bobby Flay, and
okay. Yeah, how very modern. But once we understand its principle, it's amazingly simple. And this video explains it amazingly and simple. Great job, 1937. Solving any problem. More spokes. The Virgin 2020 education, it just works. The Chad 1930s to 1940s education actually teaches people how things work. Yes, that is indeed true, and I'm mind blown by how far cars have the evolution of cars and its engineering is going. Jeez. Okay, let's just take a moment to appreciate the mechanist who built like 10 progressively complicated miniature differentials for this film. 83 years and still no animation can beat this. Especially the beginning. Especially at the beginning of the video, where there's military troops, I can only suspect they're military troops, or military vehicle people, not exactly sure. But they did do some insane stunts. If only modern school system was this easy and useful. Got a problem? Solution. More spokes. Somebody save this video in case we need to rebuild society. Rebuild humanity. Filmed in the days when it wasn't necessary to say, don't try this at home. It's safe to say if the world was made up entirely of people like me, we would still be walking everywhere. That is called differentials. Oh man. Okay. Bravo. Alright, that was cool. Alright, let me go ahead and check out Okay, so far we got 4 likes on the stream. Nice. Holy crap, man, holy crap, 18 views. It went from 8 to 18. Holy crap. Okay. Alright, let me go ahead and copy this. Copy that. And put you over here. And we put you here. Copy that. Okay. Alright, now then let's go ahead and copy these. Copy that. And then I head on over to you. Okay. There we go. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, there we go. Just in case, now you all have seen on stream that I did in fact put the links to the videos that we did see on stream, since I copied them from this and pasted them into here. And I'm hoping that you all have a nice day. And if any of you out there may have suggestions on the next Randomness Day, I was contemplating on doing one on the NHS. In case that you all want to know what the NHS is, it is National Health Service, and it is known as the British healthcare system. So if any of you wants me to do a Randomness Day about the NHS or anything in general, please let me know in the comment section. This is Oblivion 13 signing out and hoping that you all have a nice day.